Life is supposed to be an experience of all emotions. And there's in-between emotions, neither happy nor sad. But they can't have that, you see. When you're neither excessively happy or sad, you might think. And if you think, that could be danger to those that rule you. That's why you're crammed with all these choices of, do my thinking today? How many channels on TV can I get? Or how many radio stations? Now I'm going to get satellite stations for radio now, there's that many of them. Or how many video games can I play with today? But give me someone else's thoughts, because I don't want to use my own. It's too much of a burden. Thinking is a burden. In fact, when it comes to the brain chip time, and of course the card, the active chipped ID card, which is coming, is only a part-way gesture towards this. It's to condition you for the inevitable. And most people will think, oh, because it'll be marketed, the lies will be marketed to them, the purpose of it. And the public will think, well, geez, this is great, I want mine. They might even give you bronze, silver, gold and platinum to give it snob appeal. But once everyone has one, the real function will kick in once that's happened, and there'll be no more you. And this is from science meetings, world science meetings they've said this. They have all this ready to go. They have to market the idea to the public. It's been done through movies at the moment, and novels, cartoons even. Children think they're going to be Superman, but they're not. They might be physically as a good cyborg, but they won't be themselves. There will be no ability to even perceive of yourself as a distinct individual. And that was said at the Loyola University meeting, where they held one of these world science meetings on this very subject. So we're guided like sheep to the slaughterhouse. Most will go willingly because they've swallowed reality hook, line and sinker as it's been presented to them. Those who understand what's going on are caught in different degrees of sides. Join a patriot side, join a militia side, join a this, that, the other. And all these sides are given for you by the same elite who run things at the present. They've always given us our heroes to follow, always. Albert Pike said that. We always give the people their heroes. That's why they never lose. So you don't follow people. These are the masters of manipulation. The masters of manipulation. And we think we can beat them by learning the law and using the law against them. The only way you can beat this is starting with yourself. Because you have to know yourself and start to dominate yourself and think for yourself. Because we are up against an incredible evil. I hate even using the word because the whole English language is all Masonic and evil is just lived backwards. Everything's coded this way in the English language. So even the words we're given is a computer language for the elite, so we can speak it into existence for them. But there are other languages too. We have more than just that. We have other senses that we can use. There's mental imagery, there's various symbols as well. They use symbols all the time to indoctrinate us. Words and letters are just symbols, although they have occultic meanings in Masonry and higher. But ultimately, what kind of mind is running this whole thing that's not human, obviously? That's what gets you. Yeah, there are lots of human psychopaths working for them. Clever psychopaths. And dumb ones too, The dumb ones they generally use for executions and wartime and stuff. Torture, that kind of thing. The more intelligent ones are up wearing suits and ties and lying to you. That's a gift that a psychopath has, is the ability to lie without emotion. And they sleep well at night, no matter what they've done, without pills. But what's above all this, they can plan something such a long time ago, never lose control down through the eons, is worshipped by the high elite themselves in their strange rituals, runs all religions, even the ones that think they're opposing each other, and the subsections of the religions that think they're opposing each other. They gave all these ones to the people. What are we really up against here? And those who are willing to open Pandora's box will eventually come to this big question: is there any white knight out there? Is there a cavalry only come at the last minute? And it's only in the books you find that, and in the novels and the movies and religions, because you have to participate in life to offset this. And participating in life means know yourself, come alive, and use your life for it, because if you don't, it's game over for everyone. Most people don't care about anyone else today, and that's true. I've heard it so many times. Well, thank God by the time they bring the last part of this in, I'll be dead. I'll probably have been retired and I'll spend my pension, I'll be dead, thank God. Because they don't give a damn, you see, about those that have to come. Which also means they don't give a damn about all their own ancestors who came before them and suffered and enslaved and so on, so that they could have exit with a pension, you know. There's no continuity between the past, the present, and the future. Egosyntonic behavior has been encouraged. And it's very possible brain damage has occurred as well, since Arthur Koestler, who worked at the United Nations and wrote a book called The Ghost in the Machine, and who worked on ways to lobotomize that part of the brain that gives you your self-awareness and your critical survival capabilities, he was working on ways to destroy that, chemically, bacteriologically, through viruses, whatever. There's different segments working for the UN on this, and he wrote about it all in his book. He was all for it, right to the end. Thought it was just a swell idea. And he said that the elite won't need, the peasants, basically, the masses won't need those instincts anymore, because the scientific elite will be making all their decisions for them. Will be managed, well managed, you see. Whereas those who manage us must keep theirs, because they must retain survival capabilities so they could steer planet Earth into the future. And that's what the wolves at the top talk about, of course. As they talk about us, mustn't know this kind of stuff. We're just children, will give us nightmares. Don't tell the children what we're doing. But the IQ level is dropping. It doesn't happen by, you're born with an IQ. When it starts dropping, something's happened to make that happen. What can do it? Bacterial warfare, biowarfare techniques, injections. They were discussing this back in the 1700s and 1800s, using inoculations to do it at big meetings in Europe. We'll find Jacques Cousteau talking about that, David Suzuki in Canada. Have to bring down the populations. Well, they don't just talk about it, they have a Department of Population Control at the United Nations. What do you think it means? A wish list that they sit and dream about? No, it means they will implement it. And they can't tell the children. They can't tell the children, hey, you're going to have a shorter life, you're going to come down with crippling diseases, and you'll die earlier. They can't tell you the truth. You don't tell the children the truth. It's scary. So much to encompass, so many directions, much of the esoteric to explain to you, so much of the exoteric to explain to you, for things to start happening. So I won't be doing all of this talk. This just little intro to give you a very quick synopsis of the past and the present and where we're going in the future, very shortly actually. We're getting sprayed like bugs from the sky with those that have eyes to see. Like bugs, just like bugs. Like you take a can of Raid and spray it over an anthill. That's what they think of us. And not one person in major media will talk about it. Why? Because the media is one of the most essential arms of government. It's part of government. They couldn't give you your matrix reality without it. They couldn't keep you in it without it. It's not all gloom and doom. It's not all gloom and doom at all. But before you can save others, you've got to save yourself. And to do that, you've got a lot of work to do. A lot of decisions to make. Most can't make those decisions. Most will say, hey, leave Pandora's box closed. It's scary in there. It could be dark. I might fall in. But there's always brave souls who will. And that's the ones who come alive. The dead will never make choices. The choices are made for them. So, excuse this little homemade video here. But when you're running on a shoestring, you can still get the word out if you want to. I'll talk to you again. Thanks for listening.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.